KEYC News Now to Go is sponsored by Rivers Edge Hospital and Clinic. People caring for people.
Moments like these make life worth living. Rivers Edge Hospital and Clinic is your partner in taking control of your own health. Take your steps towards a lasting tomorrow. Rivers Edge Hospital.
Hello and thanks for joining us for this KEYC News Now to Go update. I'm Jackson Jurek. In a few minutes, I'll be joined by First Alert meteorologist Caitlin Lohr with a look at today's forecast and the North Mankato Fun Days weekend ahead. We start with state news. This week, a new memo from the Minnesota Department of Human Services came under fire from Republicans as they began questioning a department hiring policy. Several Republican lawmakers, citing the initial story from Alpha News, say the policy is, quote, forcing illegal hiring quotas, end quote. Now, the U.S. Department of Justice has opened an investigation. Our Quinn Gorham explains.
A new memo from the Minnesota Department of Human Services made its rounds on social media this week when an Alpha News reporter highlighted a department policy that requires supervisors to justify their decisions not to select a member of an underrepresented class for a job. While some Republican legislative leaders have called it a new policy, DHS claims it's anything but. According to a spokesperson for the department, this policy has been in place since 2002, and the memo issued this week simply updates that policy. DHS says the policy is the result of a law passed by the legislature in 1987, one that still exists in state statute. The nearly 4-decade-old law says that, quote, any agency that does not meet its hiring goals must justify its non-affirmative action hires. The department says the policy is only applied to applicants who have already met the minimum qualifications for a job and only applies to positions in areas that have not met affirmative action goals. Some Republican state lawmakers weighed in on the policy. House Republican Speaker Lisa Damith and leader Harry Niska said in a joint statement that DHS is, quote, forcing illegal hiring quotas that prioritize ideology over qualifications. Senate Minority Leader Mark Johnson called the policy, quote, DEI on steroids, and called for the governor to end the policy. All this as Thursday, the U.S. Department of Justice launched an investigation into this policy, hoping to determine whether the state of Minnesota has, in their words, quote, engaged in race and sex-based discrimination. Again, this policy is not new, according to DHS. The related statute has been on the books since the 80s, and this policy has been in place at DHS since 2002, but a challenge from the DOJ could still change the way it's interpreted by hiring groups. Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
Continuing our digital cast with local news, good growing weather has become welcome news for local producers who have had a tough couple of years. Aaron Stuvey catches up with one family of farmers to see how this year is treating them and learn what's changed in 3 decades they've been meeting with the community.
Golden Family Farms has been setting up shop every week in Mankato for more than 30 years, and they've seen everything there is to see, from floods to droughts. The past few years have been tough on producers across the area, but this year is one that Golden knocks on wood will end the same way it started.
This year, thankfully, we've had quite a bit of gaps. We've had rain when we needed it, we've had chances of times to plant when we need to build into the ground, and we've had some heat to encourage growth. We've had some cool to not burn them off at the same time. So right now, a lot of growers are feeling in a much better place than they were a year ago.
The family began their business in the early 90s, and a lot has come and gone since then. They've seen the community move away from farmers markets, then have a resurgence of supporting their local growers, especially around the COVID pandemic. Golden says that whether it's a packed Saturday morning or a warm Thursday afternoon with just a couple of vendors, they can always count on the community to show that the support they need, regardless of how the crops are faring.
There's folks who have been shopping my family stand since I was about 8 years old, which I am clearly not anymore. So it's wonderful to see some of those familiar faces that stop by every single week, every market day to stop by and support the local growers.
In Mankato, Aaron Stuvey, KEYC News Now.
Switching gears and joining me at the desk is First Alert meteorologist Caitlin Lohr. And Caitlin, it is the North Mankato's Fun Day weekend this weekend. Started on Wednesday, parades tomorrow, the family night on Sunday. You're going to be there on Saturday. Yeah. I may be there on Saturday. We'll see, no promises yet. But overall, it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous, pleasant weekend. Couldn't ask for better weather.
Yeah, you know, the biggest thing that you're going to want to keep an eye out for is maybe this evening into tonight that we could see some thunderstorms. But aside from that, the weekend as a whole is going to be fantastic to get outside. Now, what we're starting with some cloudy conditions out there, taking a look at our futurecast and severe weather outlook. We are under a low threat for strong to severe storms possible this evening. The main threats would lie with damaging winds and large hail possible. That's hail up to 1 inch in diameter or greater, or winds up to 60 miles an hour or greater. So we could see one of those, both of those, or one or the other at times. Now, it is a low threat, but whether it's a low threat or an extreme threat, we're still going to talk about it because it could happen and it could affect you guys, especially if you want to plan to go to the Fun Days Carnival tonight or maybe another event somewhere else. You need to be aware of the fact that we are not just looking at chance of thunderstorms, but a couple of strong to severe storms possible. Now, taking a look at the futurecast, we're going to see these clouds break apart, leading to a little bit of afternoon sunshine through the area. Maybe a lingering stray sprinkle around here and there, but overall should see that gradual clearing and quieter conditions, which will be great for those of you that want to hit up the carnival this afternoon. But again, keep your eyes on the skies, as this evening showers and thunderstorms are going to develop out to the west of us around 6-7 o'clock this evening, making their way into the Mankato area between 8 and 9 o'clock tonight, continuing till about midnight before they fizzle out, leaving behind a just stray isolated shower or two, with gradual clearing overall beyond midnight tonight. We'll see these clouds tomorrow clear up, making way for sunshine. So it's really just this evening that you have to keep your eyes on the skies into the late night hours for that chance of thunderstorms as well as strong to severe weather. Now, we are looking at a little bit of rain accumulation in the area. Areas east of Mankato are looking at 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, where areas west and north of Mankato are looking at closer to 1/4 of an inch, with some areas possibly seeing closer to 1/2 an inch of rain. 83 for the high today with afternoon sunshine, but evening thunderstorms, as we've talked about. A couple could be strong to severe again, with large hail and damaging winds possible. But tonight we have gradual clearing on the way with a low of 64 degrees by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, those clouds will clear up through the morning hours, making way for afternoon sunshine. Whether you're going to be at the Mankato Fun Days Parade tomorrow afternoon, the carnival, or maybe you just want to hit up the lakes or beaches or a pool, it's going to be a great day to do so. We've got high 70s in store with nothing but sunshine out there. Here's a look at your extended forecast, showing high 70s tomorrow, but mid 80s on Sunday. Upper 80s make a return on Monday, and then a cold front moves through on Tuesday, bringing in scattered shower and thunderstorm chances. Dropping temperatures a little bit below average, but that's okay. It'll still feel fantastic out there with 70s in the forecast. Another chance of scattered storms possible next Thursday.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Caitlin. That's going to do it for us today. Thanks for watching this KUIC News Now to Go update. Of course, stay with KUIC News Now for the latest local news, weather, and sports on our website.
And download the free KUIC News and Weather apps for the latest headlines and forecast.